It's okay.
Yes.
Mind the camera
Your
feed?
logo is going to be a minute. I want to get the show started.
Yeah, that's fine. That's great.
But you're on.
I think the Law Center should totally sponsor the Geaux Rouge show.
There's room for
I
that.
think
They are
that's
partly responsible.
not a good idea.
They're partly
Not a good
responsible for this.
Not that you told me about what you don't know. That you were supposed to
So it's interesting. So I do get, you'd be very proud to know. It's interesting some of the conversations I get to sit in on. Keen Miller, we're not on, are we? So a big firm might be consulting a business that wants to do certain things that is federally prohibited, but becoming legal across the country. And I'm the guy in the room that's like, yeah, the feds can seize all your money. Yeah, you might want to do that. You ready? Take a deep breath.
No, we have about a minute left before we
All right,
But you're on YouTube.
hey, YouTube. And how's the camera looking? Do I look awesome or what?
Fantastic.
I want to see it.
You are the third best looking.
So here's the thing. Let's talk for a minute. I have run multiple 5Ks. I have run a 10K. There is a 15K coming up. I'm not seeing the live. Did you?
I know it's going somewhere. Let's make sure it's going to the right spot.
It goes a lot. It goes to a weird. Anyways, so 15K. Franz running a 15K. Now in the 10K, my right knee on mile 6 was like, "Oh, we're doing this, are we? We didn't talk about this." And so I finished the race, but my right knee was like,
Unhappy.
not happy.
Franz passed me when he finished, and I said, "Good job, Franz!"
I was so
Yay!"
angry at you. I was
'cause
so
finished
angry.
A lot earlier than he did.
Yes, you did finish.
And
Yes.
he was like, "I'm gonna vomit." That's what he said. I'm gonna vomit.
Text me the.
Oh, shoot, it's got an old graphic on it and everything, but I'm looking at you right now.
Am I everything you thought I would be and more?
Well, there you are. Okay.
I don't know why it doesn't like come up.
Can I get the
I can't.
iPhone charger?
I cannot. I can't share that which I cannot.
Oh,
Is that what you cannot see?
I picked the song out myself. Jamiroquai.
Isn't I don't recognize it.
I mean, Janet Jackson, Jamiroquai.
I mean, talk about a dance skill I'd love to have, though.
You want to try to find the newest video? It's episode 104. Yeah. All right, welcome to the Geaux Rouge Radio Show. If you're listening on Talk 107.3 or if you're watching on YouTube, welcome to episode 104. Franz Borkhardt behind the microphone. Brian Haldane's on Master Controls. Welcome to Fridays with Franzi.
You're not changing the name. No.
Fridays with
Veto.
Franzi. Okay.
Veto.
You know, I'm just here. I'm here for Baton Rouge. I'm here for the listeners. I'm here to make things better. I'm here to make things better. So, anyways, we got a great show lined up. I say that every week. I mean, I line up the show, so it's
Would
kind
you
of like,
walk through the front door if you didn't?
oh, dude. I've got co-host Adrian Owen from 368. She's going to be chatting with us all episode long. I've got Michelle Carbo in our first segment with Junior Achievement. She's going to talk to us about some volunteer opportunities and the crown jewel guest for this week. Now, this is a guest I've been working for 2 years to get. I've got the Associate Dean of the LSU, the Paul M. Hebert Law Center, Andi Carroll, who's going to be joining us. She's not just the Associate Dean. She's not just a professor there. She's not just a master yoga instructor, performer. I don't know what the word is. I'm looking there. Yogi, guru. She also is a belly dancer. Boom. Boom.
I heard there's something involving swords.
Yes, we're going to talk to Andi in the second half of the show. But before we jump to all of that, we need to thank our show sponsors. These are the folks, the businesses that make the Geaux Rouge Show possible. First and foremost, La Divina Italian Cafe, open every day with your custom, made-from-scratch breakfasts. I recommend the Italian grits or the biscuits. They're biscuits. They're biscottis. Biscuits. They're very, very good. They're very, very good. Definitely want to check them out. They also have very personal king cake, personal-sized king cakes, like personal pan pizza, personal-sized king cakes. Delicious. Outstanding. Dr. G, Dr. Gunjarena with MD VIP Heal 360 Concierge Medicine. If you want to check her out, www.drrena.com. If you're wondering, hey, this guy looks fantastic. This Franz guy looks fantastic. How did he make that happen? How did he lose the 100 pounds and stomp Brian Haldane in the Fat Boy 50 like Brian owed him money? Dr. G, you need to talk to her. Concierge medicine means that I have 24-hour access. That means if I'm whiny, if I'm feeling a little sick, I can text her and she can say, "Suck it up, Buttercup." www.drrena.com. And last but not least, the Borkart Law Firm. The Borkart Law Firm. That's my lemonade stand. That's my day job. The Borkart Law Firm, premier criminal defense firm in Baton Rouge and throughout the state of Louisiana. The finest, as I say every week, the finest criminal defense firm in the multiverse. So those are the show sponsors. Yes, go ahead, Adrian.
Is it true that you almost failed criminal defense class?
I didn't almost fail it, but it was, in fact, one of my lowest grades in law school.
I'm sure we'll get into that.
And now I'm viewed as one of the finest criminal defense attorneys in the state of Louisiana, past president of the Louisiana Criminal Defense Lawyers Association. You know that constitutional law change that we did where we went from not having unanimous juries to having unanimous juries?
Yeah.
That was my legislation. Boom.
Wow.
Lowest grade in law school.
Changing the world.
Destroying the racial fabric that is Louisiana's jury system. Man, I'm like a one-man show. All right,
Incredible.
So we're going to jump in because we have a VIP in the studio. We have Michelle. Michelle, welcome back to the Geaux Rouge show. Michelle is with Junior Achievement, and I wanted to get you on because you guys have some fantastic volunteer opportunities. Michelle, welcome.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me. Happy Friday.
All right, so your associate, Miss Paula, who's been on the show before, told me, hey, we got some volunteer opportunities coming up. So I was like, well, y'all need to come on down and talk about it. What's going on with Junior Achievement?
Well, we are doing amazing programs in the elementary schools, and we have so many classes who just need a little smiling volunteer faces to come teach a few JA activities.
So refresh our memories. What is Junior Achievement?
Junior Achievement is a mentoring education
Wait,
nonprofit.
I can mentor?
You can be
I can
mentor.
spread the gifts
You
that the
can
good
be a
Lord
mentor.
has given me, the life lessons. I can share that with the youth.
You have so much to share.
I give until it hurts, Michelle. All right, so mentoring, what age groups?
For these are K through 5, kindergarten through 5th grade, elementary kids, and these youngsters love to talk about money, and that's what you'll be teaching. Junior Achievement teaches early money skills.
Early money skills, like if I wanted to talk to them about building a conglomerate criminal defense firm, and I'm only saying this because I have the second in command from the law center. My graduate, my alma mater, is in the studio right now. If I wanted to shepherd them into building an empire, a criminal defense empire, could I do that?
Of course.
She hesitated.
Second
There was some doubt in that
graders,
voice.
third graders,
Second graders are ready for it.
they want to be attorneys and they want to go to law school, and so that is perfect age
So
to
little
encourage them.
known fact about Franz. I went to law school on a whim. I had two grandparents that were very, very good attorneys in Baton Rouge. I grew up with them. I remember going to their law offices downtown every single week. But I did not want to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a teacher originally. And some circumstances happened. I was going to go get my PhD in English literature. I had degrees in Latin and English. You know what you do with degrees in English and Latin? You either teach or you go to law school. And so at the last minute, I said, I don't know if I want to be a teacher. I think I'll just take the LSAT and go to law school on a whim. And it worked out great for me. I'm not going to encourage these kids to do whim decision-making like that. I'm just saying sometimes you do things on a whim, Brian.
I'm just counting my blessings
feel
that
like
the
that
majoring
makes
into
sense.
English and Latin wasn't followed by seminary because I was waiting for that to get dropped.
So oddly enough,
I brought it up.
Oddly enough, I am a graduate of Catholic high school, one of the finest high schools in the state of Louisiana. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed the trend here. Franz Borkart, finest in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Things are associated. Anyways, Catholic high, class of 97. Catholic high, when I was there, I had actually given thought to doing clergy work. But I like girls a lot. So that was a problem for me. And, that's, you can't be a priest and actually get married and all
So
that
you
stuff.
all teach financial
Yes!
skills to elementary school children. Fantastic.
And if you're just now listening and tuning in, we have Adrian Owen with 368. She is co-hosting today, so I'm glad you're here to talk. All right, talk about the volunteer opportunities we have coming up.
Well, We also teach career exploration, so we're kind of segueing back into
Okay.
JA's mission perfectly. But these are just a couple of hours of hands-on activities, and it's been a challenging year in the classroom for students.
Well, right.
So it's really a great time to go in and bring some of the real world and share some of your own experiences.
I'm excited.
With the young kids.
If Michelle, if I wanted to get connected to Junior Achievement, where would I go?
It could be super easy. JA Baton Rouge on our Facebook page. Send us a message, and our team will reach out and we'll connect and pair you up with a school. We've got about 20 schools that still have open classrooms that we're looking for mentors for.
Awesome.
So-
That's awesome.
And then I also noticed you brought some very heartfelt letters from some kids.
We did, because this is really what you will get if you come and
So I sometimes
volunteer
get
in the
letters.
classroom.
I sometimes get letters like that from prison and juvenile delinquency facility. They're not as colorful as this, but this is great. That's what I really. You know what? I think the mentoring is the gift that I need to give away. That is the gift I need to give away. So, Michelle, thank you so much for joining us. Michelle's like, I'm never coming on this show again. No, that's not true. Michelle has a lot of fun. One more time, that website is?
JABatonRouge.com or our Facebook page, Junior Achievement Baton Rouge.
And you guys walk the volunteers through the process, right? I mean,
All
it's
the materials, training, support, everything you need.
awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, Michelle.
Thanks for having us.
you.
Appreciate it.
All right, so our second guest, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Our second guest, Associate Dean Andi Carroll, is coming on the show right now. Do you know how cool it is to have an Associate Dean?
How cool.
It's pretty darn cool. I've tried to get the provost on, the old provost, the new interim provost.
Haney?
Yes, she knew better than Professor
Maybe
Carroll
we
than
can
to
get her
come
on
on.
now.
Come on, Andi, come on in. So Andi Carroll, this is the reason why. The reason why I wanted her on the show is I like individuals who are disruptive and do like a multiple different things, right? So it's not enough that Andi Carroll is a fantastic associate dean at the LSU Law Center. It's not enough that she's one of the brilliant. I'm laying it on thick here. The most brilliant like property, family law, matrimonial regimes professors there.
She's a Renaissance woman.
She really is. There is more to her.
I can't repeal your degree, right?
You could.
I have
You
no
could.
control of that.
Little known fact about Francie, I've actually taught at the Law Center. I was an adjunct for a class, so I can check that box off.
You did. How many times?
Criminal litigation once, and then I helped Judge Marabella teach a general civil litigation a few times. Surprisingly enough, I wasn't asked back.
Right? A long time ago.
Right. So, welcome to the show. Welcome to the
you.
show. Okay, so there's more to you than just the Law Center, though. So,
There is.
So let's talk about what it's like being you. So, what are the many hats you wear?
So I'm a mom, maybe
Right.
first and foremost. I have 2 teenage kids, so
God bless you.
It's a rough life. I think I slept 3 hours last night, so you know how that goes. So I'm a mom. My day job is as a law professor and associate dean, so I manage students and faculty, and then I have a life outside of my day job.
It's the life outside I also want to talk about. So I don't know if you know this or not. She is and I want to make sure I give you full credit and recognition for this. You are a yoga instructor, but not just there is like levels, right? Like master yoga instructor. Are you a master?
So
yoga?
I am a yoga instructor and an instructor in a number of other fitness formats. But yes, now I also work as a master trainer. That's what it's called. Master trainer. So pre-COVID, we would travel around the country, really travel around the world, teaching other people to be yoga instructors, and to spread that movement.
Now, Adrian, I don't know if you know this about me or not. I dabble in yoga.
I don't think I did know that, though I'm not surprised.
Well, okay. So here's the thing.
Do you have Lululemon pants? That's the real question.
I have pants that are. So she asked if I had Lululemon pants. Varsity Sports sells men's running pants that are eerily similar to the pants you're referencing, yoga pants. But, honestly, men can just wear sweatpants, and everybody seems to be okay with that. I am I'm in the spiritual journey phase of my life right now, and yoga really does. It gets my chakras in line. No.
I recall you looking for a yoga instructor.
I did.
And putting out
Yeah,
an APB
was.
on that, and you didn't call me. Well, what the heck?
I had to get you on the show first, and I feared that if I failed you as a yoga student, that would probably. I mean, you don't. It's like getting a low grade in law school, like criminal law, like being your lowest grade. You don't want to really hitch your horse to that criminal defense attorney. So you do that, and then in addition to that, and I knew. So we had never really formally met up until today. Because I didn't take her in law school. I knew that you had done some fundraising dancing, but there's another level of dancing. So talk to me about the dancing.
So yeah, I've been dancing my entire life. That's how I got into yoga and fitness and the idea of movement as medicine in the first place. So yeah, I had the opportunity to dance for Dancing for a Cause for the Arc of East Ascension.
And in fact, it's one of the few times that a person can dance for money and it's socially acceptable, right?
That's right. Yes. Large donations.
So you did that, but now you do. I've seen you with swords. You do belly dancing, right?
I do.
Okay, so talk to me about that.
So I'm a member of 2 belly dance troupes around Louisiana. One is, yes, 2. One is based in Abita Springs. So I drive out there and we perform at festivals all around the state. So I found this group through the Louisiana Renaissance Festival, which I've been a huge devotee of for many years.
Oh, Renfest? Oh, Fisher and I went to Renfest. We got outfits while we were there, which were much more expensive than I thought they were going to be. We may be doing our own. So have you been to Renfest before?
Oh, I love the Renfest. Yeah, and you got to get those costumes in advance, handmade on Etsy. That's the way to go.
So, okay, I want to know.
Bustier.
How did you
Flared skirt.
How does a law professor who dances and does yoga? How did you get into belly dancing? Walk me into that.
So
I want to know that journey. That's the journey I want to know.
I went to the Louisiana Renaissance Festival year after year. I'm a big proponent of costumes, right?
too.
So I always had the full garb going on. And there is a dance company, Pandorium Belly Dance Troupe, that dances there every year. They perform 4 shows a day on stage, and I loved that show. So I would always go for that. I sat there, and I guess I would be, dancing in my seat. And one day, the leader of that company came up and gave me a card and said, I see what you're doing in your chair, and you need to come and join us. So
Do you all have the things with like the coins?
we do.
Ooh, I love that.
It's from ancient
She's not half A
Egyptian
in
and Arabic.
this. She's not half A in this. She's got swords.
Yeah.
By God, swords.
So
Well,
wait,
and
do
it's
swords
all
come
like,
into play?
They do. We do dance with swords, so I can balance a sword on my head.
Oh my
I actually
gosh.
keep this sword in my trunk, so single woman out and about Baton
Sword in your
Rouge.
trunk, right?
I mean, you never know. You never know when you might need that sword. So,
So note to self: if you think you're going to cross Andi Carroll, she wields a sword.
there is a sword in my car.
I love a woman that wields a sword.
So okay, so I've got so many questions. Now, when I went to the Renfest this year, you're giving me this motherly look like, don't where you go. I've been well behaved today compared to what I'm normally. So when I went, there were fire eaters, and so I see the swords. Do you ever do fire as well, or is that okay?
No.
Okay.
No, there are people who belly dance and do fire dancing, but it's kind of a separate thing, separate gig. So,
Got it.
we dance with swords, we dance with veils, we dance with zills, which are the little finger symbols. And one of the other things I like about it is that it's an ancient tradition, and you were asking about the coins on the hip scarves, and that it speaks to my heart in family law, right? Belly dancing used to be like a fertility dance, and you would dance as a woman for your prospective husband's family, and you would wear coins on the belt as a show of what you had to bring to the marriage, and essentially showing your wealth.
You used to get property.
Wow.
You used to get property, farm animals.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
I don't know
like
if
a
you know
dowry.
that.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
dowry.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
We don't really do that anymore.
Yeah.
When did that fall? When did that fall to the wayside? When did I stop getting like
Getting goats.
2 mules and some other things? Yeah, I can speak from you're married.
I am.
Was there a dowry involved in the?
There was no dowry
Okay.
for Will
Brian,
Jones.
Brian,
Unfortunately,
Brian,
not.
was there a dowry when you married your beautiful soul of a wife?
No.
Okay,
No.
all right. Was it an arranged marriage?
Am I owed something?
Let's
I think
not go
I
there.
think
Let's not go
I've
there.
met your wife. I've hung out with your wife. I saw her at Mercy the other day. I think if anybody's owed anything in that situation,
That's fair. No,
Yeah.
that's fair.
I'll bring you a hip scarf
not
if you want. You
not
put
that
on
I'm
and dance for her.
so the record is clear. Not that Franz Borchardt is giving commentary on successful marriages. I am not that guy. That's all right. It's all right. So, Andy Carroll, if you're just now joining us, Andy Carroll's on the Geaux Rouge show. Okay, so how does this? We are in a. You're not a lawyer. You are a wonderful component of 368 digital marketing.
Yep.
There is a rigidity that goes with being a lawyer. There's a certain stuffiness that goes with being a lawyer.
I see it as a very creative field.
Oh,
you're
it
good.
is, but there's also a certain.
There's rules.
There's unspoken rules about what's okay and what's not okay, and then
There's
we're
also
very
clearly documented rules.
right
laws,
about how I can
yeah.
advertise and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But also there is a certain amount of and I like being a lawyer. I love being a lawyer, and I love my profession. And we have awesome attorneys in Baton Rouge. We have awesome attorneys throughout the state of Louisiana, many of which have graduated from the flagship university, the Paula Mayberry Law School. But that being said, generally you don't have. It's about as common as having a guy that has a show that has nothing to do with law on Friday nights at 6 o'clock drive time. It just doesn't happen often that you would have someone who's into dancing, who also is a yoga instructor as well, an instructor of instructors. That's a combo, right? So,
but let me disagree with you because this
Okay.
is one of my kind of passions in life, that we all have these
Right.
diverse aspects to our
Sure.
personality.
Sure.
It's just, as you said, a lot of times when we're in a rigid profession like being a lawyer, you're not allowed to express those, right?
Right.
And you're told you're supposed to suppress them. So, I get asked all the time, why do you have, yoga pictures with a sports bra on your Facebook
Well,
page, and then you're the associate
as
dean?
you may or not have learned yet, I repress nothing. I repress Franz Borchardt on record. No, I don't take myself seriously, and the component of what I adore about what you're doing is you found things that you love doing, and you're this is who I am.
Right, exactly. Like, I'm
Right.
a whole human with all these diverse interests.
Right.
Everybody can do that.
Right. If you ever walk into my office, and you've been to my office before, it's not a typical law office. I've got like, what are you shaking your head like that about?
No, it's not a typical law office. There's multiple octopuses.
Like, I have art in my office.
You can call
I
it
have-
that.
I have octopus art. I have
A lot of it.
I have swag
You
from
do have a lot
different
of swag.
events that I've worked with. I have high heels from the Real Men. What was the event?
Star
The
event?
Star event where Hunks and Heels. So I had giant platform boot high heels that I danced in on stage. I have my pink wig from Susan G. Komen's Big Wigs event. I was the biggest wig, by the way. I am still 2 years. I mean, there was a pandemic, but I raised the most money 2 years in. So if you go to my office, you'd be like, whoa, what's going on here? And in fact, a lot of potential clients are like, what am I getting myself into? And I say the same thing all the time. I'm like, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. So we're about to take our first break. If you're just now tuning in, we have co-host Adrian Owen this week from 368. When we come back, we are going to talk some more with Andy Carroll from the LSU Law Center, and we're going to then segue into conversations with Adrian.
Yeah.
If you want more information about the Geaux Rouge show, go to www.geauxrouge.com. And if you have a show topic idea, you can email us at info@Geaux Rouge. I get those emails. I sift through them. Sometimes they're in Russian. They're spam. That's spam, Brian. Russian spam. Sometimes I get really good
Brian
at.
looks confused.
It's okay.
No, I'm good. I'm
You're
good.
good.
No,
Okay.
nothing confuses him at this point. So we're going to take our first break, Brian. We're going to be right. You're wincing. You okay?
I'm good.
I'm not wincing. You know why I'm not wincing? Because I had some phenomenal king cake from the Jay Ducote show. Listen, when Jay does his show, I get like the scraps.
The sloppy seconds.
I was careful not to say that. And this week he had some phenomenal king cake on. Brian is sometimes an installation on the show, and he gets to eat as a result of that. That's what we do at Talk 107.3. We eat the scraps. So we are going to take our first break, Brian, and then when we come back, we're going to have some more of the Geaux Rouge show. One more time, www.geauxrouge.com. Stick around. We'll be back. So we're still...
On Zoom.
on Zoom.
I have a trial.
Y'all are back on YouTube now. There's going to be a bump down.
That's fine.
Or else the commercials will go.
That's okay. All good. I have a trial coming up in Plaquemine for second-degree murder. I have some white-collar cases coming up in federal court. So, yeah, I try all sorts of stuff.
So do you have you ever been a trial lawyer, or do you just?
I was, yes, but we don't as state employees
Yeah.
at
Oh,
LSU and
wow.
Southern. We don't practice.
Yeah.
So
In a
those
past
working
life.
at private law schools are allowed to have a separate side practice. We don't.
So that always, there are some professors that I had that they love teaching. That they were made for teaching. They were a really good teacher. There were some professors that were emotionally abusive. They won't be named. And then there were some that I often sensed they really loved practicing, and they like being a professor. They like, it's a good salary. You get paid good money, and good benefits, and good retirement. But I sense that sometimes they miss being
Yeah.
on the front line. So I mean, I guess it's a trade-off of.
well, it's a totally different skill and a totally different like
Well,
set of.
so the other
activities, you know?
question, I don't know how interesting it would be for the listeners during the radio portion of the show, but I often wonder, do you do writing? You do some
do.
publications?
I
So
do,
t-
yes.
I love it.
No one would be interested in any of that. Yeah, so my mostly I write about adoption
cool.
and other family law matters. So,
So have you
yeah.
been following the case that was out of Oklahoma with the? It was a Native American law case. Where,
Tribal?
Yeah, tribal law. Thank you, tribal law case.
Where the father didn't consent, and then under ICWA, the Indian Child Welfare Act.
I think she's been following it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
and so-
trying to put the words together. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Well, and that's yeah, exactly in part what I write about. It's that tension between biological parents, whose rights need to be protected, and then
So, you know,
the
a
child's
weird-
interest in the family.
a
That
weird-
child was taken from the home of that
Yeah.
adoptive family that
Yeah.
the child had lived with for years.
So a weird area of law, the only areas of law that I've dealt with that have anything to do with adoption and that kind of family law is there is a weird nexus when you have a foster parent or an adoptive parent that has bio kids and then adopted kids, and then when the kids allegedly sexually assault the bio kids, if you surrender your parental rights, you end up on a registry with ECFS, and it
God.
affects licensing and all sorts of stuff. We'll talk about it later. It's crazy.
Wild.
We're going to get really controversial if you bring that up now.
What?
All right, so 30 seconds back a second ago, then I thought you had said something back. Sorry.
Can I pick the song, or you got a song lined up?
There's 15 seconds.
No, you're good. You're good. Just make sure. We just need to make sure this week that we don't have what happened last week, which was mid sentence, like it ended.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Your out time is 55:50.
Just give me hand signals. You're good. I cried a little bit inside last week, and then everyone. I knew what happened, and then everyone who was listening, who was friends with me, was like, "You know what just happened?" I was like, "Yeah."
Thanks for telling me.
Oh. She'll catch ya.
I'll say it up here.
Let's talk about her later.
All right, welcome back to the second segment of the Geaux Rouge Radio Show. This is your host, Franz Borkart. On Master Controls, we have Brian Haldane. If you're listening on Talk 107.3 on the radio, thank you for listening. If you're listening or watching on YouTube Live, do me a favor. Click on that subscribe button. I am lagging. So I have a competition inside my head going with Brian Haldane right now
Okay.
to where I want to have more subscribers than Brian, and I think I'm about 15 to 16 behind you right now, Brian. I'm coming.
Okay.
We coming.
All right.
He's like, I'm not counting, but okay.
I mean,
I just got started on YouTube not long ago.
I'm
so
slightly competitive.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll have my kids.
I like the fact
go
that
on
you
and
said
subscribe.
you have a competition going in your head.
I'm
That was
honest
the way you
about what's
said it, in
going
your
on.
head.
Yeah, I'm honest about what's going on.
It'd be fair, like if you want people to subscribe to Geaux Rouge, let them know who you're going up against. You're going up with the Mornings with Brian Haldane channel. Mornings with Brian
So,
Haldane.
like most of the love in my life, I'm willing to pay for it, and I'm willing to pay for the. No, I'm joking. I don't know if you can pay for subscribers. We'll talk about that in digital
Yeah,
marketing.
you can.
Oh no, that feels dirty.
It's dirty.
You're not rewarded for it though.
Yeah.
Right.
The algorithm's
so
been
I
controlling
have.
that.
So this is the kicker. So on social media, we're going to talk about nothing to do with the show for a second. On social media, I have like a huge Facebook, like and following
Mm-hmm.
system, but like and that's like 24,000 people. I didn't pay for it. It just organically kind of happened. On YouTube though, It's like 102.
Not so much.
There's no love. No love for Franz on YouTube.
It's almost
Gosh,
like
what's that
it
about?
validates the way I feel inside. I mean, good thing I don't like measure my self-worth based on YouTube subscribers.
Obviously not.
Keep the sharp knives away from me. Andy Carroll has a sword in her car. So you're joining us back on the Geaux Rouge radio show. This is every week, guys. They let me have airtime every week. We have Andi Carroll from the LSU Law School in studio along with Adrian Owen, who is co-hosting. Before we get to these ladies, we're going to thank our show sponsors. These are the folks that make the Geaux Rouge show possible. We have La Divina Italian Cafe serving select wines, ice cold beer. Did you know they have a sorbet mimosa?
Oh, I didn't actually.
It is apparently a very, very good. I don't drink, but it's apparently a awesome thing.
I need
I've
to
had
try
it
that
before.
next time I'm
I've had it
there.
before. It is a thing on brunch. And in fact, while we're talking about it, they have one of the best brunches in Baton
Great
Rouge.
brunch.
You can go get brunch there. You can get a bundt cake afterwards because they have nothing but bundt cakes. If you want to do a hair blowout,
Or just get their gelato.
yeah, you can do that too. You have the hair blowout place
Yeah.
to the left of it. I don't really go there, but and then there's Trader Joe's down the street.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of things going on there. You have
La
Dr.
Divina.
Yeah, La Divina Italian Cafe. Dr. G, Dr. Gunja Reyna, MD VIP at Hill 360, www.drreyna.com. I used to be diabetic.
You used to be a little bit
Bigger.
a few sizes bigger.
There was more of me to love back in the day.
Yeah.
Dr. G helped me not be diabetic. I'm still classified as diabetic, but my numbers are like normal numbers.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for her. I literally said on my 43rd birthday, she saved my life. And I'm not just saying that because she's a show sponsor. She really did save my life, and I've got much more energy. I feel much more better. I feel much better. Thinking about running a 15K.
Do it.
Mardi Gras Mumbo.
Let's do it.
You're in for a 15?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's not going to be pretty for me, at least. She like lapped. We did the
Tiger 10K.
We did Tiger 10K, and Adrian Owen like lapped me, and it was like she was not like subtle about it either. And like if you
I was cheering people on at the end, as one
What-
does.
I
And
said something
congratulations.
very
well
Andy.
done.
I said something very snarky to her when I was. To be fair, I was in an emotionally unstable place at the end
he
of
was
mile
very
6.
red. Very red.
Yeah. So
My favorite is when you do a triathlon and you write your age on your leg, and so you get passed by like a 65-year-old, and it just makes you
love
have
that.
some,
on your
some
left.
feelings about
You
yourself.
run a
love
tri-
that.
You run a triathlon.
I have.
That's
I used to do
impressive.
those frequently.
God,
so-
Renaissance woman.
Right?
I love it.
Well, did you know I've had Iron women on the show before? Shout out to Adonica
I was
and
going
her
to say
crew.
Adonica. Yeah.
Yeah, and they prefer to be called Iron Men. And I asked them about that. I said, why do you, okay, it's 2021, 2022. Like, what? I want to make sure I call a duck. And they go, well, we do the same thing the men's do. Men, not men's. We do the same thing the men do, so we're Iron Men. And I was like, sister, if you do it,
Right.
I'm going to call you
And
whatever.
the race is called Iron Man.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
So-
not Iron Person.
If
Yeah.
you're just now,
That's true.
if you're just now tuning in to the Geaux Rouge show, another wonderful, delightful Geaux Rouge episode, I've got Associate Dean of the LSU, Paula Maybear, LSU Law Center, in studio, Andi Carroll, along with Adrian Owen from 368, and we're just chatting. We've got Professor Carroll in for another 10 minutes, and then everybody called her Professor Carroll. I never took her, but it's hard for me not to call her Professor Carroll.
I like that.
You know, now they call me Dean Carroll Franz. I'd like
Did
to
they really do that?
Yeah.
That's so hot. That's so hot. Oh my God. Good thing it didn't go to your head because
Right.
let's just call it what it is. If I was the associate dean of anything, I'd be like, excuse me, Brian, that's Dean Borkhardt, Dean Franz. So we have her in studio. Renaissance woman, your words, Renaissance woman, triathlon, dancer, yoga. Okay, so that's a lot of boxes checked, Andi. So what I'm curious, when I meet somebody that has done as much as you have, I start wondering, so what's on the bucket list? What's left? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, like,
Aspirations.
yeah, that's what I'm really getting at.
Yeah, I'm a major traveler, so
Okay.
I have a passion for that. I want to see the world.
Italy? I see you in
Of
Italy.
course, yes.
Italian
I had
beach.
plans
Cinque Terre.
to go at the end of February to Egypt.
Ooh,
so that was
cool.
going to be my big bucket list adventure, and that just got canceled because of COVID and all that. But rescheduled. So yeah, see the world, spread the yoga love.
Where's the favorite place you've traveled?
There's a town in France called Chamonix. So it's a little tiny town where Mont Blanc is. So it's at the corner of, if you go up to Mont Blanc, you can see into Switzerland, Italy, and France. And it's just a beautiful little one-street town. It's
What is
amazing.
the town that is like the missionary trail where it's the 3 different beach towns in Italy. I'm sorry. I mean, you'd think after 2 years I could use the microphone, right? I can't. We have 3 microphones going on at once. Yeah,
If you use the headset, you'd know all of it.
that's true. That's true. Thank you for shaming me on radio. I need to be shaved occasionally. So I have never been to Italy. I have been to Spain. I want to go back to Spain. I spent 20 beautiful days before the pandemic in Spain. Travel. So number one, like, if I could get you a ticket tomorrow to go somewhere, where are you going?
India. That's
India.
you know,
That's where I wanna go
yoga.
so
I want to
bad.
go
Yeah.
do yoga in an ashram and meditate in an ashram for a week.
Do you like Indian food?
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm doing after this. We're going to Swagat.
Love it.
So
I got to tell you,
obsessed.
look, neither that place or Bailey for sponsors of the show, so I feel free to
Okay.
say this. I got to tell you, that place,
Swagat.
yeah.
What are you gonna say? I'm scared.
No,
love it.
I got to say, I think it's the best Indian food in
Oh,
Baton Rouge.
it's so good. It's the
it?
best.
And I
in Baton
like-
Rouge. It's the
I
best in
like-
Baton Rouge.
I'm an
Bay-
India's girl, but I haven't had.
Oh
I
no
haven't
no
had
no no
Swagat.
no no no
So-
no no Swagat.
Really?
So
Okay.
I hate to
India's-
be an asshole, but
All right.
India is
better.
for me nostalgic, right? So I grew up when I first had Indian food. It was India and Himalayas on Sherwood.
Oh yeah.
Yes, love that.
Now it's bay leaf, or now they've got Korean kebab. They've got some
Yeah.
other ones, but
Swagat's where it's at.
I got to tell you, yeah, I agree. And they're both deliverable. So if you have like a little
Absolutely.
6-year-old like I do, and you can't go because he doesn't necessarily want to
Yeah.
get his naan on. He actually Fisher, by the way, for the record, Fisher, my 6-year-old, who's a beautiful blessing, loves Indian food.
I say, who didn't love naan?
He loves Indian food.
Yeah.
I gave him some lamb from okay. So India.
Yes, the lamb, the
If
keema
you-
samosas.
Yeah. So if you could travel, if I gave you a plane ticket anywhere, or could-
Honestly, India is like my husband and I were talking about it like earlier this past
Yeah,
week.
Well,
India
look,
is like
we
very
need
high
to
on the
plan
list.
a trip.
I
then,
love
You
that.
know, girls trip.
Yeah.
Sorry, France. You know,
I have girl
Not invited.
tendencies. If you haven't noticed,
I don't know what that means. I don't want
I
to know
can't
what that
go down that
means.
road.
Okay.
I can't go down that road without sounding really, really
Yeah,
bad.
let's just back that up.
Yeah.
So India.
Okay,
Cool.
India's
India.
okay.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's the
I'll find some
consensus.
friends. I'll make some
Yeah.
friends and go to India on my own. Brian, you want to go to India?
If she's offering Chamonix, France, that's the place, though.
That's not
Right?
nice.
That's
I know.
home of the first Winter Olympics, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it? I
Is
didn't know
it?
that.
So I would
compelling.
be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit about my alma mater at the Law Center. Anything fun going on at the Law Center these days? I mean, any changes? Anything we need to talk about?
Well, as you probably know, we have a relatively new dean, because our former dean,
You are the
Dean
dean.
Galligan. No,
Yeah.
I'm the
I love
associate
Galligan.
dean, number 2. Became, of course, the president at LSU. So we have some new leadership, and she's doing a great job.
Who's our new
taking
dean?
us, Leanne Lockridge.
Awesome.
So
Cool.
interim Dean Lockridge.
Maybe we should have gotten her on the
It's
show.
been difficult, right? I know.
Good-
Next
good-
time,
good luck,
shoot
Franz.
for number 1
Yeah.
next time.
Oh no! If Andi ever comes back to the show, that would be. I'll have to negotiate some stuff.
She probably doesn't have a sword in her car, though. So,
Oh,
you know.
I've met Lockridge. I don't know. So look. All joking aside, I appreciate you coming on the show. I love what you're doing. I am a big fan of human beings having multiple facets and not being able to be placed in a little box. Stick around if you want to stick around. We're going to transition now to what I like to call conversations with Adrian.
Cool.
All right. So Adrian,
Yeah.
Andy's leaving. She's
Bye,
bolting.
Andy.
Andy, thank you.
It was awesome to meet you.
Isn't she awesome and amazing?
Amazing.
I'm a big fan.
I really am. I'm going to follow up with you after this. We're going to talk about India and Renaissance festivals.
So she's
swords.
also, while she leaves, she's also in one of my favorite sororities.
Oh, Garrett, tell me more.
Perfect. Just thank you. So, okay.
Bye.
So you are with 368. You've been on the show
Yeah.
a couple of times now, right?
I have.
I mean, is this your third or your second time on the show?
Third.
Yeah.
I think it's my third.
Generally, leaguers, and Adrian is a leaguer, they come on the show multiple times. We love our league on the Geaux Rouge show. So, how are things going at 368?
Things are awesome at
Yes.
368. It is such a fun job every single day. I learn something new. Work with amazing people.
And
It's
by
great.
the way, what is 368?
368 is a creative agency based here in Baton Rouge, but we work with clients all across the country, doing really exciting work to bring brands to life.
So, I got to give shout out to my boy Jeremy, who's one of the
Yeah.
co-founders. He actually designed the Borkart Law Firm logo.
He did do that.
And it's awesome. My son just walked past. Okay, Brian, could you keep an eye on my son so that? Yeah, I'm sorry, Brian. So I have a 6
He's back. He's good.
I go deal. So I have a 6-year-old,
Yeah.
as you know, and I have my 6-year-old when we record on drive time, and sometimes that means he has to be. I've had people ask me about having my son as a guest on the show, and I feel that's a little exploitive, and also he has to be on board with it.
Well, that's why I was asking him earlier, do you want to be on the show? He kind of looks like he gave me a skeptical eyebrow.
So he's a performer. He likes
Yeah.
to perform, and I think I could do an entire once a month segment with Fisher. But
I think it'd be funny.
He has to be on Brian. He has to be on board, right?
Yes.
No, 100%. That kid goes so sideways,
Oh, can we
so
talk-
fast.
can we talk about
Not
sideways?
specifically about Fisher, but just a 6-year-old in general.
Okay, so let's talk sideways for a second. So I'm not gonna. If you watch the show, my son goes to Mercy. My son dropped a curse word in kindergarten the other day, and then he cited when asked, "Where did you hear that word from?" Cobra Kai.
Oh.
Well, the rabbit hole out of the parental units that are watching Fisher at any given time, there's only one that watches Cobra Kai. Now, I became full-blown defense attorney at that point because I was like, well, his uncle and his aunt curse a lot in front of him. I've been there when they're watching sporting events, and God bless his mother. His mother's like, it wasn't Cobra Kai. We all curse in front of him. So we had to have like a teaching moment about how it's not okay to curse. And then he looked at me and said, well, you curse. I learned it from watching you. And in that moment,
Remember that 80s PSA?
oh
Yeah,
man, did that
ouch.
speaking of
Dagger
swords,
to the heart,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Brutal.
All right, so I wanted to have you on. I just want to give you a recurring
Let's
segment.
do it.
Okay, so you're a foodie,
Oh, I
and
love
that's
food.
really what I
Yeah.
want to talk about.
Let's talk about food.
Okay, so we're coming to the end of Restaurant Week, and I don't know if you've had any Restaurant Week experience, guys.
Yeah.
I've
Beausoleil.
oh,
Delicious.
I gotta tell you, hands down, I'm starting to think Beausoleil may be the best restaurant in Baton Rouge, and that's no disrespect
It's
to any
so
other.
good.
It's coastal cuisine, Louisiana flair. Everything's fresh. They have great desserts. They have great brunch. I mean, if you're a drinker, they have great cocktails. So I'm going to put Beausoleil as one of my best.
It's up there.
Favorite. Okay, so we were talking Indian food,
Yep.
and I feel like the Geaux Rouge show would be remiss if we didn't celebrate Indian food for another couple minutes
Let's
before
do
we.
it.
All right, so we have a number of Indian restaurants in Baton Rouge. Brian, have you ever had Indian before?
You and I have had Indian food together, Franz.
Oh,
Okay, I knew that.
Dagger to the heart.
I just wanted you to.
Beneath brought us to that place off a plank.
Oh yeah, Oasis.
yeah.
Oh,
wait,
Oasis.
what?
Oh, dude, it's on.
God,
It's in
Vinny's
North Baton
good.
Rouge,
Okay,
and
I
it's
don't know
not
this.
just Indian food. It's like Indian soul food. If you look at the menu, it's like it's not a vegetarian kind of thing. They do have vegetarian options. I say that because I know you're not vegan. You're just a vegetarian.
Vegetarian, yeah.
Right.
No eyes. Nothing with eyes.
Yeah. So I'm a pescatarian. I eat fish with eyes as well as
Yeah.
veggies. So Oasis.
But how do you spell vegetarian without any eyes?
Ah!
Keep here all day, folks.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we don't have 10 sponsors right there. So he took us, Vineet, our good friend Vineet, used to work with the city, now works with
He's with the
Connect
Division of
LA.
Administration. He's bringing broadband to every nook and cranny
baby.
of
Shout
the
out to
state.
Vineet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He brought us to Oasis, and it was in
Okay,
North.
I've gotta
In
try
fact,
this.
Gary Chambers. It was me, Brian Haldane, Vineet, and Gary Chambers.
I love it.
Gary was not smoking weed that we know of.
Right.
So we had this, and it looked a little sketchy, but it was really good food.
Looking sketchy is kind of a prerequisite for
Well,
me.
that was what I was thinking when we were talking to Dean Carroll. I was thinking going to India, like my concept of Indian food and Indian food are
Yeah.
probably vastly different, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably some crossover, but I have to imagine that the Indian food that we enjoy in Baton Rouge is probably Americanized. Like if you go get
Yeah.
Italian food, I don't think they're eating chicken parm. I just don't think they're eating chicken parm. So, what are our options for Indian in Baton Rouge? We've got India. We've got
Bay leaf.
bay leaf.
Swagat.
Say it again.
Swagat.
You've noticed I've had trouble pronouncing this word.
Swagat. Yeah.
Swagat. We have
Where is
Kebab and
that?
curry.
Yeah,
Or curry and kebab.
curry and kebab, one of the two. All of them are deliverable.
Yeah.
Even Oasis, Brian, you can get Oasis delivered.
I've got to check this place out.
So you go down Acadian, you turn on Plank, and you're right there. It is.
Yeah.
I'm
really-
driving Plank all the time. Okay.
Anytime.
Right on plank, and
So-
one block you've passed.
So
right.
this is a pledge from me to Adrian and the folks at 368.
Let's hear it.
I'm putting it down here. Anytime you and your crew want to go, lunch is on me at Oasis.
Oh my.
It is good. It is good. Now look, some of the delivery. I'll say it to Oasis's face. Their delivery is inconsistent. So in the sense of they may not have certain things, even
Yeah.
though they have it listed. But their food was I would put their food At least it's not as good as Swagat. It's not as good as Bay Leaf. Bay Leaf for me, the service sometimes is a deal breaker for me.
That's funny that you say that. I think it just depends. I think it just depends on the expectations that you have.
So if I'm on a date
Uh-huh.
and I have nothing but time,
Uh-huh.
and the woman that is goodly enough to go on a date with me
Uh-huh.
is not in a rush, kind of like eating at Panetta's,
Yeah.
3 hours is okay. I don't mind
Yeah.
it. If I'm not on a date, and 3 hours is lunch, that's not okay for me.
You have to learn aggressive eye contact.
So what I do, and I went there for a birthday on Thursday.
Uh-huh.
What I do, or Wednesday. What I do is I look at them and say, I have to be somewhere.
That's exactly right.
I'm going to order now, and I want to go on and pay now.
Yep.
And I look at the server. Last time it was the owner.
Yeah.
That's the owner. Owner was serving me,
Mm-hmm.
or was my server. Serving me sounds different. It sounds weird. I looked at him and I said, I've got to be somewhere in 45 minutes. Go on and ring me up and all that. And it was great. It was great service.
Manage expectations.
That's
what
like
I'm
the
talking
story
about.
of my life, man.
Okay, so what do you like to get at Indian restaurants? I would love to try something new.
Okay, so I do the rice dishes, and
Okay.
I will add in some
Like a
seafood.
biryani?
Yeah, yeah, and I like vegetable heavy.
Yeah.
The spinach. What is?
Black paneer?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That. But I also like fire. So any dishes that are fiery, I want to be, as you know, or you may not know. When I go to like Soji, I
Yeah.
tell them I want to feel it.
You like spicy?
Yeah.
Okay,
so-
let me give you a dish. Gobi Manchurian.
yeah, I've had it.
Oh, so good.
All right. So
Divine.
anything big going on? We have about 2 minutes left. We're talking
Okay.
with Adrian Owen. We talked food.
Love it.
She was wondering what we were going to talk about. We're going to talk food. So anything going on with 368 we need to talk about?
I mean, we've always got exciting stuff
I
going
know,
on.
right?
You know, I will tell you, I'm really excited. The Addies are coming up. We're really hopeful to.
That is the marketing
the
PR awards, right?
American Advertising Federation Awards.
Y'all always win stuff, right?
I'm really hopeful that we'll come out on top there. So we're kind of watching out for that.
This is a nationally recognized Baton Rouge business, by the way.
It is, yeah.
Didn't y'all get some love, or one of your owners got love in Forbes, right?
Oh yeah, Kenny is a Forbes 30 under 30 recipient.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. Like I said, you're always welcome to come talk about whatever you want. We've talked
Yeah.
gaming with you before and how it relates to leadership. We talked Indian food. Adrian Owen from 368. We're going to wrap this show up. We're going to wrap it up on time this week.
Let's do it.
All right. So, Brian, thank you for being on Master Control. If you want more information about the Geaux Rouge show, go to www.geauxrouge.com. If you're interested in show topics, email us at info@geauxrouge.com. Brian, good weekend plans coming up?
A lot of basketball.
A lot of basketball.
Fourth grade basketball.
Oh, I love it.
Love it.
Brian's a basketball coach. For me, I'm I'm not supposed to talk about the gumbo competition I'm judging in Walker. I'm not supposed to talk about that. I just did.
Just drop it.
Fisher is a gumbo fiend, and he's going to be co-judging with me. I'm going to be talking about it
love
next
that.
week. So, you guys have a great weekend. We will be back next week with the Geaux Rouge Radio Show.
You're still on YouTube.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, YouTube. Thank you for listening, if you're listening. Are we out? Are we out?
Sorry, nailed it. I did not know if that was going to work the way it did. And it didn't.
Good job.
Are we out?
On YouTube?
Yes.
No, not yet.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.